Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome to this edition of Talks in the Car. There is a song that I love and the lyrics say, "You don't know my story, all the things that I've been through. You can't feel my pain, what I had to go through to get here. You'll never understand my praise, so don't try to figure it out, because my worship is for real." And then it goes on to say, I've been through too much not to worship him. And as I think about the lyrics of that song, as it goes back and says, you don't know my story. Most people have a vague impression of what you may have gone through. Nobody really knows the depths of things that you have experienced, the true story behind the story. People don't know that. People don't understand the times when you cried literally all night long. People may not understand what it means to shop at Dollar Tree for groceries, not because you're just trying to save money, but because that might be your only option. People may not understand the fact that while you've had a roof over your head, that roof was a hotel because you didn't have the finances to support an apartment, or certain circumstances took place where you didn't have a traditional home to live in. People don't always understand why you praise the way you praise, why you rejoice the way you rejoice, why you clap your hands, why you sing, why you are so intent on worshiping and serving God the way you are. They don't know, and the reason why they don't know is because they don't know the root and the heart and the depth of your story. So with that being said, our stories, our journeys, our testimonies are not just for us, but they're for others. We have to come to a place where we take pride in our testimony, where we take pride in the things that we've overcome, where we take pride in being able to say, I was here, but now I'm there. And when we do that, and when we share our stories, when we share our testimonies, when we share our journeys, not only does that strengthen us and remind us of all that God has done for us, but it encourages that next person. It reminds that next person that what he did for you, he could do for that person. It allows someone to look at you with hope and to be encouraged that what they're going through won't last always. Your story is not just for you. So don't be ashamed of your story. Don't be ashamed of where you were. Don't be inclined to hold back in being transparent of where you were, because where you were is not where you are now. God has done some amazing things in your life, and you owe it to him to share the goodness of God with others. You owe it to people to let them know just how mighty God is, what he's done, what he's capable of doing. So share your story, share your testimony. Let people know that God is good. Let people know that he's worked miracles in your life. Let people know that you weren't qualified for that job, but God gave you favor. Let people know that you were sick, you had cancer, you had a tumor, you had COVID, almost near death, that you had a heart transplant, that you had all of these things, but God healed your body. Let people know that you did live in your car, you did live in a hotel, you were on the street, but God provided. Let people know that you did have a drug addiction, an alcohol addiction, but God blessed you and God was able to clean you up and put you on a different path. Let people know what God did for you. Let people know that you were facing issues with fertility, but God blessed you with a child. Let people know the miraculous things that God did in your life. Let people know that you were depressed, but He gave you joy. Let people know that you had high blood pressure and diabetes and a heart condition and all these things, but God took you off the medicine and He cured you and He made you whole, and you no longer are in that spot. Let people know that you lost that amount of weight, that you used to have back pain, knee pain, you used to have asthma, you used to have migraines. Let people know what God has done. Let people know that you wrote that book. Let people know that with no money you started that business. Let people know and let people see the miracles that have been in your life, the things that God has done for you. Because when you tell your story, when you tell your testimony, you encourage somebody else. Somebody needs to hear that. Someone needs to get excited. Someone needs to have their hope rejuvenated and needs to get excited again about doing something, and needs to know that, yes, God can heal. Yes, God can provide. Yes, God can do. Yes, God said. Yes, God has promised. People need to know that. People need to see that. And we, my friends, we are His voice. We speak for what God has done. God has done things for us that even the angels can't testify to. God has done things for you that only you can tell, only you can testify to. We are what authenticates God's miraculous work. We are what proves what God has done and what God continues to do. So don't be ashamed because you were someplace. Don't be ashamed that you went to prison. Don't be ashamed that you were in a mental institute. Don't be ashamed that maybe you had an abortion or that you did certain things. Don't be ashamed, because God is able to wipe slates clean. God is able to overlook situations. God is able to provide. God is able to give. God is able to encourage. God is able. And people need to know, and people need to hear that very thing. God is able. And the only way that people will know that God is able is if you tell them. So you need to open up your mouth. You need to write that book. You need to sing that song. You need to do whatever you have to do to share your story, to share your testimony, to let people know that yes, God can. And not only yes, God can, but yes, God will. Share your testimony. Share your story. Share your miracle of the goodness of God. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next time on Talks in the Car.